Hello everyone, this is Mark Major here at the Action Figuratorium. The Action Figuratorium, of course, is a physical place. It is a room. I am inside that room right now. This is where my toy collection resides. I'm a real big toy collector. And today I'm going to be doing a comparison video. Now originally I wanted to do a video on just this one character from the 4Horsemen's Mythic Legions. It's their Artemyss Silvercord version 2. She's kind of an elf queen fairy warrior woman, and in my opinion I think it represents peak action figure creation. It is one of the best looking figures I have ever seen, and in addition to saying that this is probably one of the best, if not the best looking action figures, it's meant to sort of represent the whole line that is Mythic Legions, and in some ways the whole wave of what are these fantastic indie companies that are coming out with all these really great toys, and they're going right up against the big guys. And so today in this one, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the Mythic Legions figure, but I'm going to compare it to another character that is very similar in terms of the quality and in terms of the price and also in terms of their mythic lore. We're going to look at a figure from Neca based upon the World of Warcraft figure Lady Sylvanas. This is a character that came from the Blizzard game Warcraft 3, as well as in the World of Warcraft series, all those expansion kits they made, etc, etc. So this is based off of a major franchise, and we're going to compare it to this other figure, which is based off of just the concept that it might be a franchise, but doesn't necessarily have to. So that's coming up today. Why don't you guys all stick around? So let's switch over to the bench, as I call it, where I have the two figures up, and I'm just gonna casually walk you through each one. Won't be a long video. I just want to say that there are some things out there that bear scrutiny as well as celebration and homage. So here we go. Here's the two figures. On the left is the Neca Lady Sylvanas. This is based off this World of Warcraft figure where she's an undead elf banshee queen. Kind of cool. She's got kind of a cool story in the game and in the overall lore. On the right is the 4Horsemen's Mythic Legions character Artemyss Silvercord. She represents sort of a hero of this particular faction of kind of earth nature warriors that are fighting against these kind of evil 4 Horsemen-like characters that have returned to, you know, whatever their fantasy land is, mythos or something like that. I haven't really dug that far into lore. However, they do have a video game coming out. It's going to be, I believe, on the Steam platform. And I think it is kind of a real-time strategy game, if I'm not mistaken, more so than an RPG game. I could be wrong about that. I haven't actually seen the game, although when it comes out, I do plan to dip my toe into it and do a little bit of playing. I think it's worth noting that if these cats are making such great action figures, maybe we should check out their game. So let me walk over there, tilt the camera a little bit so you guys know that I'm still in the Action Figuratorium. And here we go. You can see hands now in the frame. If everyone's who are used to toy reviews can now see the hands, I hope you're settled down and things are better for you. So let's go over first of all the accessories that come with each of these, because in fact they're very similar. The Lady Sylvanas, of course, comes with this outrageous elven bow, and this thing is not bad. It's kind of a hard plastic. It does have this string that you can actually have the character pull back. The Artemyss Silvercord also comes with a bow. Hers is made out of like moose horn or elk horn or some type of fantasy deer horn or something like that. Very similar material in terms of the plastic. Also has a drawstring that you can draw it. This character, the Mythic Legions one, comes with, as an accessory, a quiver with arrows sort of permanently in it, so it's kind of a prop. This character has, Lady Sylvanas has a quiver, but it is attached to the back, if you guys can see that, and it's actually helping to pin down the cape. You cannot put arrows in this. You can put an arrow, a singular arrow, in her quiver. It will not fit any more than that. Now, speaking of arrows, this one, the Lady Sylvanas, came with 3 arrows. So you can have one in the quiver, you can have one notched in the bow with her drawing it back, and then the other one can just be, you know, she missed. This figure also, Artemyss, came with a single arrow so that you could have it in the bow notched. I think that's cool, but it doesn't go anywhere. Can't put it in the quiver, so if you're not using it, it's just kind of loose. Now, as far as a melee weapon, in addition to being a ranged person, they often have some type of melee. Lady Sylvanas comes with this kind of weird, ornate, decorative staff that is actually, half of it is a, this is pretty cool, is an actual arrow. And then coming up from that is the rest of it. It's both kind of flexible, and it feels like it would snap in the middle. For the Mythic Legions character, they give her kind of a short sword. It's not that ornate for a elf queen lady, but it does suffice. It does do the job. I think if I was these guys, I would have given her a much more spectacular looking weapon. But what do I know? What do I know? I would just think character-wise she should have something a bit more gonzo. Not unlike this, which has a really unusual paint scheme to it, by the way. Okay, so let's look at the figures real quick. They're about the same size. I'm not sure exactly what scale this is supposed to be. It's from their series called Heroes of the Storm, so it's not a series of Warcraft figures. It's a series of Blizzard action figures. Some of them are from the Warcraft games, some of them from StarCraft games, some of them from the other games. And so all those different figures are kind of different sizes, but she's about the same size as this elf, and you know, they're about the 1/12 scale, I would say. I would think that if this is a female elf, that she should be a little smaller than the 6 inches that most characters are. I guess I could yard out another Mythic Legions figure to compare, but I would just think if she's 1/12 size, she should be a little bit smaller. However, Mythic Legions is all about swap and pop. They want you to heat the figures up in a little bit of hot water and pull the limbs off and put them on different guys and make new characters. Something you can't do with the Neca, of course, but that's not what Neca was trying to sell. They were just trying to, you know, use the license for a franchise. So about the same size. Both feature soft goods. This one comes with this really cool cape that Neca did. You can see that. It's got some sort of artificial rips in it. And this figure has got a kind of a skirt, but it does have that bendy wire. That means you can actually pose the soft goods. I think that's kind of cool. She did come with an extra belt. They sort of put extra belts with all the Mythic Legions figures. In fact, they recently sold a couple of belt packs that are packs of like 9 belts. You could get them in brown or black for people who need more belts. So they both have about the same amount of articulation. Both of them have ankles that move. They both have knees that move. They both have hips that move. They have wrists that move, elbows that move, shoulders that move. The heads move, although both feature ornate sculpts. The hair on this one, and she's got some of this hood and hair kind of, so they don't turn that great, but that's okay. And they both flex at the chest there. They've got kind of a, you know, separate chest piece that allows you to rock them back. They both have really well done sculpting and armor. This Neca one looks fantastic. Of course, I believe that this Artemyss Silvercord is one of the, if not the best looking action figures ever created. And like I said, if you don't want to take that as her specifically, you're saying, oh no, there's some other figures they've made that look cooler, then let that just be an example of the entire line. of how good it looks, okay? Let this figure just be kind of the captain of the line as an example, because the amount of detail and work on this thing is so fantastic looking. It's such a huge step up from where we came in the 70s with you know, 1/6 G.I. Joes and 1/18 Fisher-Price Adventure People, which of course inspired those Kenner Star Wars toys. We've come so far from those guys that these figures are just absolutely amazing looking. And finally, between the two of them, they both sort of exude a really cool fun factor. They're both really fun. This figure, this Artemyss Silvercord figure, is a lot of fun. I take her outdoors where she can be some sort of outdoor elf lady. I picked up a sort of companion in the form of a 1/18 scale elk figure from Boss Fight Studio, and it's, you know, comes up to about her shoulders, so it's like kind of a weird sort of magic animal thing. It's not meant to be an actual to scale elk. It's just supposed to be her friend that they go travel around the forest together, right? And this figure, of course, the Sylvanas, is extremely fun. She's got this really great over-the-top elven armor, yet it has this kind of undead banshee spin to it with, you know, sort of the purple, and it's very sort of gothic. It's got some skulls on it. It's a hell of a lot of fun to just have this figure do whatever she needs to do. That's very sort of, you know, kind of evil elf. And this figure do whatever she needs to do. That's your traditional elf queen. Both of them, in my opinion, are really sort of, you know, at what I would say is kind of like peak action figure design and creation. If you can get either one of these guys, right? The Artemyss Silvercord, I know that I was able to get one $50 free shipping. I think when they originally sold off of the 4Horsemen site, they were $37 plus whatever shipping. So, you know, if you factor in somewhere around $13 shipping, it's about $50. The Sylvanas, of course, both these figures are no longer new, so you're going to have to find them in some type of resale. The Sylvanas, you can still find some Chinese sellers on eBay who sell them for about $35 new. There are, of course, some people out there who bought them and have them loose. You just have to get some kind of an eBay alert and just wait it out and see what you get. You may not get all the accessories. If you can get the bow, though, you'll be a lot happier than if you don't get the bow. Same thing goes with Artemyss Silvercord. That's it for today's video. We're just doing quick down and dirty comparison, but it is about reveling in this fantastic era of design of these toys, from indie guys, 4Horsemen, to the big boys, NECA doing a licensed character. Both of them are hitting it out of the park. They're both fantasy characters. I love both of them, and they both get a recommend from me, so I'll catch everybody on the next one.